About a year ago, we sat down with actor Curtis Crumbie, who aside from acting, is a bit of a Renaissance man. We spoke about his time in the Navy.
In the Navy, when you use the bathroom on a ship, does it just eject into the ocean or what?
Great question. I have your answer.
His thoughts on men sitting down to pee.
There are guys that are being forced by women to do that. I don't know if they don't mind it, but they can't do nothing about it.
His experience living blocks from Los Angeles' Skid Row.
It's crazy stuff, man. I seen some crazy stuff, man. It's rough, man.
And of course, acting.
I just hope that I have longevity in it and have success. You know, I love acting.
We hope you enjoy this episode with the talented Curtis Crumbie.
Hey, Peter, how you doing?
Oh, I'm fine. How was your day, Eric?
Nothing much to report.
Whoa. And look at this wallpaper. And there's some nice air conditioning. Smells nice. Man, I'd love to take a dump in this place, man. It's pretty sweet. Look.
What? Who's there?
It's Curtis Crumbie of the Clan Crumbie.
Oh, Curtis, hey.
Curtis, well, why don't you have a seat?
Let me go in this. Okay, it's an empty stall now. Let me go down there and walk to it. Okay. I'll sit.
You're listening to the Flush Podcast, where we solve mysteries of life from the bathroom. I'm Peter Bean.
My name is Eric Long, and we solve all the problems.
All the problems.
Here in the bathroom.
Here. Right here. And now, right here with Curtis Crumbie. So you're an actor, living here in LA.
Living the dream.
Living the dream. And we've been friends for a while.
I've known you since August of 2004. I was thinking about that.
We've done a few of the Flush videos together. A lot of those have been more like
improv. That's
stuff.
improv.
Yeah. And one was men sitting down to pee. We actually talked a little bit about it previously in a previous podcast, but so you were the husband whose wife was forcing him to sit down to pee. In your opinion, do you think that is something that loved ones, in a relationship, you should have a guy do?
No, but you know what? No. Lives in Raleigh, in Charlotte, North Carolina.
Yeah.
He had a big crush on the woman that voiced the part. Curtis, you better not sit down or you better not stand over that door. He fell in love with her voice and stuff from that voice, her being so authoritative. Yeah. But I know, he actually, it was a turn on for him.
Wait,
wow.
So it wasn't the voice exactly. Mishra Thomas did the voice.
It
wasn't the voice, it was just the authoritative.
It was authoritative, I think, and her voice, she had a nice voice, but it's that, but I know this, it's gotta be, I know. Somewhere in America, several places in America, unfortunately, there are guys that are being forced by women to do that. I know in America, there are men that are henpecked like that.
And they don't mind being in that role.
I don't know if they don't mind it, but they can't do nothing about it. I can't say they don't mind it. I would mind it, but they can't do anything about it.
Peter was, see, my household was four men, or 3 boys, my dad and my mom.
Yeah.
So 4 male, 1 female. You had
2 female.
2 females, 1 male.
And
so
I was never asked.
You were never asked to do that?
Yeah, no.
Because I have a friend he was still to this day, he has to sit down to pee.
See, but I think
which is, I never knew that it was a thing until I saw your videos.
Yeah.
Where it was like, sit down to pee.
Yeah.
And then later on, my friend told me, to this day, I sit down to pee. So inconvenient.
I guess you're growing up, you're a kid, so you're the height to the toilet. You have aiming problems, but you're not
you sneeze.
Tall. Yeah. So you're tall, so you will maybe spray or whatever.
Yeah.
But, I don't have aiming problems, but
dead shot.
I understand. I do understand the splash factor idea, that sitting down is less dirty. Women who have asked that, they're sit down or you clean the toilet.
Yeah.
And there was in that video, if you remember, Curtis, I did some street interviews and
I remember.
And this one woman, was no, he's gonna have to sit down.
Yeah, I remember that.
He's gonna have to sit on that good toilet, and he's gonna have to pee sitting on the toilet, because I do not want piss on my floor or around the base of the toilet. I sure don't. So therefore, he cannot stand up and use the bathroom. He needs to sit down on the toilet and pee, and he does that.
Were you in a household full of women, men?
My grandmother, God bless them, my maternal grandmother. It was her and the two girls. So it was 3 females. There were 2 restrooms. They had her restroom and her in the master bedroom. Then the one that us kids shared. And my grandmother didn't play the radio. She, you wasn't peeing all over the toilet and not cleaning that up. It wasn't gonna be no fecal matter in the toilet. We had a very clean house. Well, she had a saying, anybody could be nasty. And it doesn't take that much, Eric, to be clean.
So just the other videos we did were things you don't say in the bathroom. And things you don't say in the bathroom. And you were part of a bunch of them, of course.
That donut scene was funny, man.
The donut scene was funny. And my favorite was when you peeked over the bathrooms, like can
I help you with this?
We did a lot of weird things. A lot of it was improv, like we were just kind of in there doing stuff. If you have like a weird bathroom story.
Oh yeah, I have a weird bathroom story, and I was part of it, man. I'm kind of to blame for it. I was like in junior high school, and I was skipping school, and I was in J.C. Penney's. I went to use the men's room, and so I'm in the stall, and I'm sitting like I'm sitting now, and then the guy goes use the stall at the very end. So I bend down to look. I'm looking up under the stall, down there, and I'm looking because I'm thinking, hey man, it was kind of quiet in there. I said, let me see what. I looked down once. Then I looked down twice. When I looked that third time, he was bending down, looking at me, staring back at me, and I abruptly got out of there to get out of there. Cause
may I ask you why were you looking down?
Just to make sure, because I hear a lot of freaky things, particularly like, what guys do and that. By the time, I was a young teenager and stuff, and I'm just protecting myself and trying to be aware of my surroundings. I was just being careful, man. But the dude was staring back on me on the third round when I'm bending down looking like that. Man. I said, I got to get out of Dodge, man. If
you're going to pee, do you use, first question is, do you use a urinal or a stall?
I use a stall, bro.
All the time?
All the time. I got shameful bowels.
Okay.
I got shameful bowels. I can't, I got a thing now. I noticed in my late 40s, I have it. I can't go to the bathroom when there's a bunch of men in the restroom. When there's a lot of noise and stuff, I need a quiet. I need quiet. Actually need quiet.
I hear you.
I think I was like that when I was like kindergarten. But I like quiet. If there's a lot of noise around me, outside of me, home alone, and say if I got the music on and I turned the volume up, I know the music is playing. And I remember one time I told my girlfriend of mine, my first girlfriend, she laughed at me about that. Cause see, when it's like 10 and 12 guys, if I get that big stall, now I'm okay. But it's still, all the noise bothers me for some reason. And I'm standing there and I'm looking at my penis. And I'm saying, come on, man, you gotta, come on, hurry, get the hell out. Cause I want to, even when it's a restroom, I'm in and out, baby. I ain't spending no time, and I ain't spending too much time in there.
Well, if somebody goes in a stall next to you, are you like not gonna continue, or are you just gonna like?
If somebody comes in next to me, I'm trying to hurry up. Cause usually they about to do a bowel movement. I don't want to smell none of that.
Now, do you? Yeah, exactly. Do you also? So since you stall pee, I stall pee. Yeah, I think I'm not a fan of that. But do you put the toilet seat up?
Usually the toilet seat is already up. Being in male bathrooms, we usually have this tendency to pull the seat up already. But I'm a pretty good aimer, but what I do, I'm very courteous. I always wipe. If I shot anything on the seat, I wipe it down and what have you. I never leave that. I never leave any of my body fluids on there for other people. I respect people.
You were in the Navy for how long?
4 years.
4 years. And on ships, right?
All ship.
Where were you?
You ain't a real sailor until you sailing on the ship. I was on those floating Greyhounds for 4 years, 1987, 91. Persian Gulf War, baby.
All right, nice. Well, so I guess a question that comes to me about that is, how were like the living conditions? Like, are you're down bottom of the ship, like bathrooms and all that?
It was, looking back on that now, that was some of the best time of my life. It was very clean. My first ship was a small boat, was a guided missile fast frigate. And I can still remember, I can see him in front of me right now. Lieutenant Commander McNamara. That was our executive officer. The executive officer is the next man below the captain of the ship, the skipper. And he delegates all what's happening. He's the AD. He's the AD. He's delegating. And we would have inspection of messing and birthing every day.
Of what?
So he kept
of messing. Messing is where you eat, the mess decks.
Yeah.
The mess decks, and the birthing is where you sleep.
And the birthing?
The birthing, BERTHING, birthing.
Oh, okay.
And he would inspect it every morning with a flashlight.
All right.
And he's coming by, and he liked me. This guy, and I can say that for any executive officer, you want to be on his good side.
Yeah.
Don't never get on this guy's bad side. And he would go through each birthing. He had a birthing for, I was in first division. That was both twins mates and stuff. Had a birthing for the people engineering, people who were in damage control. They had all this, some of them lived together. And he would go through and he see discrepancies. He hit it. He said, I want this done.
I was on a train once and, I used the bathroom and, you flush the toilet or whatever. In this case, you could just see a hole right down out to the tracks. So it just went out right to the tracks. In the Navy, when you use the bathroom on a ship, does it just eject into the ocean or what?
Great question. I have your answer. There is a collection tank built depending on what style ship or model. It's this huge collection tank. I think the tank may be the size of your apartment, of this bathroom. Of this bathroom. Bigger than the stall I'm sitting in, people. Anyway,
beautiful bathroom, by the way.
When it collects so much, when you're out to sea, they add something called CHT to it. It's a type of chemical.
Eats bacteria.
It eats bacteria, but let me tell you something. I can still smell it too. Fuck. They have this release thing. I don't know where they release it from, but they hit this button or level. I used to do a lot of aft lookout. The back of the ship is the aft of the ship. And I have my sound-powered telephones on. And you see this stuff. It's like a yellowish, greenish type. Yeah, like a cloud.
Yeah.
Floating.
And
the smell.
Yeah.
And they tell you that sometimes they warn you CHT is about to flow.
Yeah.
CHT. CHT. It's just the chemical mixed up with the manure. It eats up all the paper, the toilet paper, the feces, the urine. It was something else, man. And they would release it out into sea. But I guess it's all biodegradable.
Well, yeah, I can't be mad at that. I mean, I'm a big environmentalist, but I can't be mad at that because that's all body fluids.
It's going to get broken down. This CHT, I can't explain all the chemical properties of it, but it breaks it down. It's enzymes. It breaks it down. Eventually, that stuff gets broken down. Now, it's there forever. It's in some type of life form or dead form, but it's there. It has to go somewhere, man.
Yeah, but if you told me they just shoot the poop and pee out the
window. Oh, no.
But if you told me that, I would be like, yeah, that's fine, actually. Have you ever fallen off a ship?
Hell no. And that was something I always tried to avoid. I avoided that going on board one.
Yeah.
Avoid the disembarking, going on a game plane. Mm-hmm. You know, they train you for if you fall overboard, man overboard, and how to stay afloat.
Yeah.
And no, you don't wanna. You don't wanna fuck. Cause I've heard stories. You know, guys, when you hit that water is very cold to begin with. You better be a pretty decent swimmer. I was a 3rd class swimmer, but they have a test that they do for Navy SEALs. They tie your hands behind your back, and they tie your feet together, your ankles together, and they push you. Yeah, they put you in the deep end, and it's like 20 feet deep. And what you have to do is go down to the bottom, feet touch the bottom of the pool, and you push off. Then you come back up to the top, put your nose just above the surface, take in some air, then go down again. Now they got a frogman underwater already watching you and stuff in case anything goes wrong. Another test they do, they take a dive mask and they drop it in the deep part of the pool, like I told you, like that ring. You gotta, with your hands tied, you gotta dive down, grab it with your mouth, and come back up, kick up and come back up. And, so those guys, I saw a lot of guys, I didn't see a lot of guys, but I seen some guys that claim that were regular surface warriors like I was. Oh, I'm going to join the SEALs. Let me tell you something. I got a Bible scripture for that. Many are called, but few are chosen.
Like, it's tough being an actor.
I love it, man. Yeah. I love it. I wouldn't trade it for anything in the world. I just hope that I have longevity in it and have success. I love acting.
What is the best thing about acting? What do you find so comforting?
Being a storyteller, people come up to me and they say, man, why don't you need to learn the other aspects of the business, like be a director no, I don't want to be a producer. I don't want to be an AD. I just want to be a storyteller. Yeah. I just want to be in front of the camera telling a story. I want to tell the story of somebody or an event or something. I love period films and stuff, and I just want to be a storyteller. Maybe when I'm 70 years old, I might want to do what the man in the stall next to me is doing, what you're doing. But I just don't see myself as I just want to be in front of the camera. I don't think I'm ever gonna, I'm not gonna say never, because things have happened to me in life where I never thought I'd be a school teacher, but I became one. And I just want to be a storyteller, man.
Very fulfilling.
You're hired and it's a job. But I love it. And I've already broken down that character and what's happening, the time setting and what am I doing? And I just get into it. And, the thing that in my early times before I met Peter, and I was explaining this to some family and some friends in acting, which I was right. And I was a greenhorn at the time. You're going to have 30, 40 people right behind that camera. There's a guy over there by craft service eating a donut. They say rolling for sound and stuff. There's this person. Sometimes the camera's right here at your face for a tight shot. I blank all of that out. And I just practice. I just want to focus on 2 things. I want my lines to be clear and concise. And then I want to make that character believable to you. So I just blank everything pretty much out. And then when they say, that's why basically, like when I go to a gig, I never eat.
Never eat.
I never eat before.
No.
I have an empty stomach.
Craft service?
No.
Throughout the day?
Until I get settled in.
Okay.
And I sense what's going down. But like, say I was going to do Shakespeare in the Park.
Yeah.
And it's opening night. I'm like a prize fighter. Empty stomach, and hey, let's get it, man. Yeah. And then I want to see, I'm testing the audience out and stuff as I'm going through the blocking or bound stage, seeing what's going down, as I'm changing costumes, feeling that out, seeing how everybody's around me. Then I might think about food, but not really until they say it's a wrap.
Yeah.
Then I start, my appetite comes back up. I just keep an empty stomach. What I learned doing Shakespeare in the Park, like in Shakespeare is very hard. Shakespeare to me has a type of osmosis type thing, where like I talk like a brother. I have this, a bit of a black vernacular. But when I'm doing Shakespeare in the Park, you start speaking like this and what have you. Yeah. It's just like when I sing, the only thing I can say that's close to is Bob Marley's music. When you start singing Bob Marley's music, all of a sudden you have that, it's a patois. That patois of a Jamaican accent starts coming to you and stuff. And so, learning lines, I learned at an early age that when I watched television, and I could see a scene on TV, and I see it a couple of times, I pick it up and I would do it for friends. Say, man, you got that down pat. How you do that, Kurt?
See, that's the thing is that people that are willing to go through all this, they are willing to go through a lot.
Yeah, they think that stuff is magical, that it just happens overnight. Brother, let me tell you something. Unless you know somebody or you got that nepotism rolling with you, you got to pay your dues out here. But once you make it, tough times never last, but tough people do. Mm-hmm. You got to be tough, man, for this. Yeah. This ain't for the faint of heart. Yeah. And I came through the hard way, man. Skid Row.
You had an apartment down near there.
Yeah, I had, which I never wanted you to come down near. I always had them drop me several blocks west of there. I never want them to come there. Hell no. I never want them to come down there. Man, I used to live among them savages, dude.
Opposite the ends, man.
These were savages, man. I seen some effed up stuff, man, down there. Woo!
I saw a wheelchair on fire on Skid Row. Wow. That was weird. Dang. I don't know what.
It's crazy stuff, man. I seen some crazy stuff, man. It's rough, man. Yeah. It's a rough part of time. I'll be glad to get rid of that junk. They need to get rid of it.
But like people were saying, they're squeezing it.
They're gonna get Eric Garcetti and the mayor Eric Garcetti and lieutenant and all. They're gonna have to be held accountable, man, because everywhere else is beautifying. Yeah. It used to be a time you couldn't go to Pershing Square. Yeah. Pershing Square was a death trap. Yeah. Now you go through all that. Now they got the farmers market on tomorrow, the farmers market, then the farmers market moves up there by City Hall and stuff. They need to tighten down on this, They need to tighten down on this because it ain't right what's happening down. It's gotten worse. It was a picnic when I was there, what I would consider a picnic. Now that place really is a hellhole.
Well, and it's getting more concentrated as it squeezes.
They need to get rid of that, man. And the place, the whole county will be for the better, man, for it. They get rid of them missions and stuff.
Do you think the solution to Skid Row is like you can't just move the homeless people out of there, right? Mm-hmm. So what should they do?
This is what they should do. Drug testing. First of all, drug testing to end a lot of that. What I mean? Let me explain. I never really understood this till like a year ago. Mm-hmm. That drug testing.
Like
when I came to LA, I had to go on welfare. That was very hard for me because I worked. When you met me, I was working and stuff. That was very hard for me. I had to swallow my pride and I had to do it. But I did, like they said, I learned that you gotta do what you gotta do. Mm-hmm. That's what they say. Okay. Drug testing, what they should do. You guys work every day and pretty much you pay into society. Mm-hmm. Welfare is the people who are working and through their charitable, your welfare, they're helping you to live. Mm-hmm. What happened in Skid Row and around LA, not just Skid Row, you got people taking that, it was $221 in cash on the card, EBT card, and around $200 food stamp. Yeah. Now I came up in a time when they had paper food stamp, the books. I remember the books. Yeah, I grew up on that. Okay. And, you got guys, what happened? People going to the long shark, giving their EBT card. Mm. And you done gave away $221 for $50 worth of dough. Right there, let me know you're a fool. See? Right there, you let me know a fool. This stuff got on to the radio. KFI, John and Ken. They started then Channel 4, ABC, everybody got wind of this. This is back in Villagrosa's time. They got wind of this, man. What they need to do, you want food stamps. You want, I don't know if it's 221. Let's say you want the 221. You got to come in for drug testing. Mm-hmm. You don't pass it, you don't get it. That area is too valuable. The white man is not gonna let that area. I'm gonna run it down to you. I can't run it no plainer than what it is. The nitty gritty. White man ain't gonna let that stay open too much longer.
Right.
All of those, the Midnight Mission, Skid Row Housing Trust, SRO, all this stuff is going by the way of the pterodactyl. Here's what's doing it. I didn't realize this. 2016, I'm riding down, heading east on the 60 bus, 7th Street, heading to the city of Vernon. Once you cross 7th and Alameda, it's all white. They done went and took them old buildings, factories, apartments, old slums, gutted them out, refurbished them, and you have young, white, productive, not saying they're all white, but basically the majority of them are. And they're living up there. When they hear these words from the stall in his bathroom, when they complete the 7th and 8th Street bridges, and they get those bridges completed, I saw the artist's conception of what they got planned below near the LA River. It's going, people hollering about gentrification. They ain't seen gentrification. Yeah, you know what? I'm all for gentrification when the area that you've been using is not being put to use. When I came to downtown Skid Row, there was dozens of places around downtown area, old abandoned parking lots, weeds growing all through it, buildings all boarded up. It was eyesores. 10 years later, you go there now, if it ain't a condo or a new apartment is not on it, it's a base camp for TV and movie or a parking structure been put on it. And it's the system is broken. You know, the assembly, the California assembly that they got, there's the assembly, this LA assembly, the city hall and stuff. They need to get that fixed, man. All that stuff, all that disappear. Eric, wherever I go, Peter, wherever I go, I always carry myself in a certain way. You know, I'm never obnoxious. You know, I don't go out there being trouble because see, there is this perception, which I don't have to tell you guys, of people of African race that, is very bad. And, you know, and unfortunately, there are some people who look like me that propel this type of stuff. Ignorance, all ignorance rules the world. Ignorance rules the world. And so, but what I do, always carry myself in a good light. So even if you don't like me, I don't care if you don't like me. I'm not Willie Loman. I don't want to be liked. I want to be respected. Because see, if you're not respected as a human being, eventually the people who are disrespecting you, they're gonna kill you. Gonna say, you know, and especially if no one cares. And no one cared about these poor unfortunates. I'm just speaking about the 100 million people that were taken from the jungles, savannas, and forests of West Africa. And I always try to carry myself in a good light in their memory. And I know they're proud of me.
Yeah. Well, you've always, like you talk about being like an ambassador or something, you know, being on the up and up. Like you've not only been that, you've been more passionate a person than when you walk in the room, like you change the environment. You know, you're such a positive person.
I try to be, man. I try to be, you know, because I think about my grandparents every day and what would they have wanted me to be. And they wouldn't want me to do anything less, you know, and, you know, I try to do the right thing, man. Do the right thing. Don't do nothing stupid. Hey, man, I've been sitting here for a while, over an hour, man. I'm feeling some tingling in my toes and stuff. It's time me to get my black ass up. So listen, I'll catch y'all, as the brother say, out in the street, plant your nine. Dig you later, Eric. Dig you later, Peter. Love you. Much love, man. Peace out.
Oh, man.
Okay.
Yeah, you're leaving already, but you have a lot of stories.
So many things to say. All right, well.
All right, then.
All right, Eric. I guess.
All right. So I know that I'm not as interesting as Curtis.
No, you're not.
But I'll see you later, man.
Yeah, I guess we should get back to work or something.
I hope he finds those bathrooms he's looking for.
This is a nice bathroom.
It is a nice bathroom. Yeah. It smells good.
It does smell good.
Yeah.
Well, this was The Flush. Thanks so much, Curtis, for joining us. You can see all of his stuff on curtiscrumbie.com, right?
Right.
Yeah. And you're on Instagram now.
Find Curtis on Instagram at actorcrumble.
All right, well, thank you.
Welcome.
You can watch all the podcasts on wherever you listen to podcasts, and you can go on theflush.com and listen, get our book, look at weird posts.
Tell your friends about us.
Tell your friends.